All right, everybody. Welcome to TTI. I'm Joey Mason. I have a blog called Jamiroquai. Here's what we're going to be doing. This is the first installment of a new installment, and over here, well, not really over here, but on the other side of the internet, I have the Batman to my Superman. I got the the Tim Taylor to my, not really Al Borland because we're equal. I got a man. He's big. He's as big as buildings, and he can crank out that content. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Fenton, also known as Geekosaurus Mike.
Hello, everybody, and I'm not sure if I should be insulted or not at being the Tim the Toolman Taylor to your Al Borland.
You know, I think more like Al Borland, and I was going to say you're the Tim Taylor to my Bob Vila, but those two didn't really get along. So I kind of ditched that.
Not so much, no.
Swept that under the rug. But here, to fill in everyone, like every good superhero story, every good thing like that, we got to give you some exposition. We got to give you the origins. And let me tell you, it's going to be better than a lot of other superhero origins. We ain't going to deal with hard water. We ain't going to deal with anybody's parents getting killed. We ain't going to deal with our planet blowing up.
Maybe yours didn't, but...
Well, I mean, with only all those Geekosauruses running around, it's bound to determine something's going to happen. But we thought it would be a good time to introduce ourselves and about how a Jamiroquai and a Geekosaurus got to meet.
But
now,
Joe,
Mike,
Mr.
what?
Mason, what does TTI stand for?
TTI actually is kind of is a big hunk of our origin story. So, I'll explain, if it's alright with you, Mike. I'll explain my side of things.
I will comment when necessary.
My perspective. It's like a parallax. You get two vantage points, right, of the story. It's great. So, there I was, sophomore year of college. And, like all cool people, I was in the marching band. And like all really cool people, I played the tuba. Played me some sousaphone action, right? And I remember there was a lady. She was a band. She called herself a band aid, which is band humor. But she told me that there were two freshmen coming in that played tuba, and one of them was a short, portly guy, which he may be on a different podcast. But the other one is a really tall guy. And I was like, I remember I joked to her saying, "Ha, I'm going to look down on these freshmen." And then she said, "Well, you're going to look up to him because he's really tall." So there we were, me and another tuba friend. We saw this really tall Geekosaurus-like man walking around the cafeteria. And I'm like, that guy's a tuba player. So we met. He sat down next to us. I was like, "Hey, man, what's your name?" And he said, "Geekosaurus Mike." And through that, we became buddies. Now, with TTI coming into effect, I was the big dumb animal of the marching band. I was the crowd jester, keeping everybody's spirits up. And which is great because now I'm a music educator. But anyways, I had to get the tubas riled up because tubas get tired, people get tired, and it was band camp, hot and sweaty, and there were four of us, I believe. Yeah, four of us.
Yep.
And I said, you need to imagine marching band as if it were a body. And I said, and if you thought of the marching band as a body, the sousaphones make up the four testicles. So, we thought about this with Mike and I trying to think of a name. And we realized that, hey, we're two people from that group. So we refer to ourselves as the two testicles of the internet. But, we want to lure people in, right? So we call ourselves TTI. Acronyms are cool. They're hip nowadays. So TTI is short for two testicles of the internet. That's how we do.
And now you know the whole story.
Oh yeah. So, Mike,
Oh,
did I lie? Oh yeah, yeah.
no, there was no lies there, except for I didn't introduce myself as Geekosaurus Mike, because that name hadn't been invented yet.
Oh,
It was
that
like
was pre Geekosaurus.
it was like Bruce Wayne before Batman. But uh, no, I was but a wee college freshman at the time. Uh, Band people had to arrive a week before school actually started for what American Pie has made the infamous band camp. Indeed. I had actually gotten there a bit late to the party. In fact, I missed the first freshman incoming band meeting. So I didn't know anyone coming in because most of the school wasn't there, and I lived in the dorm mainly populated by football and basketball players. It was kind of just me on my floor. So I was in this empty building, and all I knew was that band kids were having dinner at this time, in the meal hall, if you will. So I'm like, all right, so I go over there, and the director goes, "Oh, you see that guy with the goatee over there, and the big black guy,
The black guy.
big
Yep.
big black guy."
And the big black guy. Yep.
To imagine the other tuba player, imagine Barrett from Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
And you're
It was-
basically there.
Yeah, I remember because you were like wandering around, and I remember like what the band aid lady said, and I'm just like, this dude is unnecessarily tall, and I'm like, I bet you this is the one.
Yep. So I found the tuba table, and one of the first people I meet in college gives me a speech about how we're the testicles of the band.
And there was also another bonding moment between us was God, we're starting to sound like an old couple. Um, Another bonding moment was in marching band. You got to look uniform, right? You got everything look good, and we had to order shoes. And I'm helping out the new folks. We're all in the line, and I have to go and order my shoes. And I'm like, I said size 11. 11 is modest, right? For my size. Well, Mike, this is really freaking tall, and I didn't know.
I wear a size 16 shoe.
And Mike was like, they were like, "What's your shoe size?" And Mike was like, 16 feet. And all this and that. And I remember I turned to you, and I was just like, everything's big on you.
Yep.
And that was about the same reaction. It was like that.
Well, my favorite part was the day that we were supposed to have the sectionals between all the instruments, and we just all ended up in Kyle's room. Who was the short, portly fellow who was the same class as me, and Robert was telling the story about two kids from his high school, and he was like, so so and so, he was this really big guy, like Mike, stand up. He was like that, only a little wider and maybe a bit shorter, but okay, sit back down. And then he told another story, and he was like, now this kid, super short. I mean, Kyle, stand up. Like most people who you would say have a slight Napoleon complex, Kyle was less than pleased at this visual demonstration.
Yeah. I just like the fact that the two freshmen at that time that was coming in, it was a tall, lanky tuba player and a short, squatty tuba player. And we're like, haha. It's like it's like every good duo in history.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
man.
Jay and Silent Bob and
Abbott and Costello.
Henchman 23 and 27.
Like Siskel and Ebert.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
And then,
Yeah.
the day after that dinner, Had another guy come up to me, and his first words were, tall people die young because of heart problems. Because that's how you say hi to a person, right?
I remember we were like all like kind of a little group, and this guy, and this we could actually use his nickname
We can, because it's not his actual name.
it's not his actual name. Bam, anonymity. His name was Pucker, because Pucker had these big fish-looking lips, and he just walked up to Mike and was just like, "Hey, people that are really tall die of heart problems. They die earlier because they have heart problems." And we all looked at him like, "What?"
Run
like
that
we've
by me
never.
one more. Run that by me one more time, bro.
Yeah.
Tell me your
Then,
name.
Like, if you don't shut your mouth, you're gonna die sooner. But no,
Throw him off the building.
there you go. But no, like this guy had never introduced himself. We didn't even know that he like went to Monmouth. He just showed up and he was just like, "Oh hey, people gonna die." And I'm like, "Are you serious?"
Really, bro?
and then the good news is everyone jived really well, the tuba team, and we really were like the four testicles of the band, just generating, pumping out the juice. You know what I'm saying? And and then I think it was the last night of band camp. We were all hanging out, and really one of our very few friends that was not in band, so he wasn't there yet. But they were in like my room, and we were just talking, hanging out, all this and that, and then we started hearing like this couple argue outside.
Oh yeah,
and it was very obvious it was a drunk argument. It was just, "Can't you say it's and that's like them going back and forth. It was, and you have to refresh my memory on this. Was the tactic Kyle was going to go like bend over, like underneath, like behind the guy, and you were going to push him?
The technique was the peekaboo. And what would happen if things went south was I would run up to the guy with Kyle a few feet hidden behind me with my fist raised, and at the last second I would drop to one knee, Kyle would jump off my back, yell peekaboo, and punch him in the face.
There you go. That's teamwork at its finest.
That was our combo move.
That's if you press R1 in square and like Dead or Alive, like your tag move as you switch out, that could have been it if you two were in that game.
That's right. Fortunately, it did not come to that. Although Kyle did have a very spectacular fall off the bunk bed right before that.
Yeah, he did.
I believe you called him like retarded Batman.
I think my actual terminology, it looked kind of like a silly Batman. I also at one point said this isn't socially acceptable, so I don't mean it. I was younger then.
You were a
I actually think I
sophomore in
said
college.
yeah, I was. I think I said a retard transformer because when he fell, you heard two very distinct thuds. And one was like his knees hitting the ground, and the other one was his face.
Well, the
Because
thing
he was
was,
on the. Oh, you go ahead.
the thing was, he was on the top bunk, and he was continually trying to like scoot farther and farther off the edge to see out the window, and this eventually led to him falling like perfectly horizontally
Yeah.
down. So you just heard shit.
You're goosh goosh, and when he fell, it looked like the Batman pose. Like he had his arms up and everything.
Imagine Chris Farley as Batman.
Kind of, sort of.
That was an old. Who was it? It was a stand-up comedian who does a very good Don LaFontaine impression, whose name I cannot remember now. And a lot of his act was he would spout out these fake movie trailers, and one of them was a movie so secret even his family didn't know it was made. This summer, Chris Farley is the Batman.
Nice.
Still better than Ben Affleck. No.
Oh, that's a can of worms right there.
I'll probably be doing an article about that this week, so. But yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
There was. Oh, you go ahead.
um. Oh, shoot, what was it? Go say what you were going to say, I'll think of it.
Well, I had a whole nother story involving another part of you that's large.
Oh, before we get into that, just to leave them in suspense, I remember what it was. To say that we were the four testicles of the band, it was at the point that if the tubas were not being high energy, the director knew that there was no hope for the rehearsal.
Yeah.
There was a point where we were kind of getting a little low, and our director was like, "Well, the tubas aren't energizing everyone, so something must be going wrong."
That's true. The guy actually said that. I mean, we we may not have played the best, but we played the loudest. I'll tell you that.
That's right. Anyway, what were you going to say?
All right. So, I really don't know how this story started.
Oh,
But
okay.
it was a conversation that was happening in the dorm.
It was
It
because,
never.
it was because of the thing Kyle did all the time.
Oh yeah. So, okay, this is good. This is gonna get a little R-rated, and so
Viewer discretion is advised. If you're below the age
Yeah.
of 18, please make sure you have parent permission before listening to the next few minutes of this podcast.
we can hyperlink something so you can just jump to the end. But no. Okay, so we had this theory, or I had this theory. Somebody had this theory that okay, you know how like if someone says something stupid, people like do like the whatever, and they do like the 3 round burst jerk off thing. How they're just like whoop whoop whoop, and then like it's done.
At least Kyle
Well,
did that, yeah.
yeah. If people were just like, whatever. And actually, there's a Whitest Kids You Know skit called Slow Jerkin, in which they take that concept, but they like do it really slow, and it's hilarious. But anyways, we thought of how everyone has like their own style to that. Like everyone kind of does their own thing. And what Kyle did was one of the things that he did was that he acted like he had a large dong, if you will, and he like it looked like you have. If you've ever carried like a big sack of feed or a big sack of like dog food, how you kind of grab it underneath and then you flip it so the big bag's on your shoulder. Kyle would do like that motion, and then he would like act like he's burping his thingy, and that happened. We're like, that's funny, and so I did one that made it. I started in the normal jail position. And I went back and forth, so it looked like a big roller coaster.
So
And then
it's
I
like
get
a
to the
big snake.
yeah, like a big old snake. And then I get to the top, and then I'd like go back down, and I'd make noises like all this and that. And with the combination of Mike being 7 foot tall, having size 16 shoes, and being able to make a 2 foot ice cream cone in the cafeteria. I was like, or in Mike's case, and
That's the sound
Well,
of me.
that-
That's the sound of me splitting a woman in half.
at
For
this
those of you
monster.
who are unclear.
Yeah, it was imagine like you're holding like those medicine balls like over your head, and then you just slowly bring it down and kind of like shake your hands violently.
And you have to scream the entire time you're doing it, or it doesn't work.
Yeah, you just gotta go and just shake your hands as they're slowly going down, and it was hilarious. If we ever do a vidcast, we can show you it.
Well, it got to the
People-
point that I have a game called Fighter Maker 2, I think it is. But basically, you design and animate, your own fighter. It taught our friend Joel and I that animation is a pain in the ass, and B, you animate your throws. So I had one throw where I would uppercut my opponent into the air, and then like grab them by the ankles and slam their pelvis to mine, and it'd be an instant KO.
Oh man, you do not want to get caught with that move.
Nope. Well, I think it only worked on female characters. Because you could set that. And I was like, oh, if you can set it to only female, then I can incorporate that joke into my fighter. And it's
Get
okay.
it?
It's okay, because none of us are girls. So I won't be able to do it on any.
Like, you had to justify it. Be like, it's okay, because I really won't tear a woman in half. Because I have too much dignity.
No, because like, at that time, Joel and I were seriously trying to make fighters, and like it would have been bullshit for me to give my guy a one-hit KO move.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll never actually get to use it, so it's just an Easter egg.
You just made it. Just snicker quietly to yourself.
More or less. That's why I do a lot of things, really.
There you go. Dude, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, some people try to do things to get everybody to laugh, and then some people are just like, when they do it.
I believe on the internet that's referred to as doing it for the lulz.
Oh, yeah. It's like back in the day when there were, like, arcades, how, like, you would place it so you put ass as your name. You're like,
It'd be funny, but then, like, the top 5 people would have that same name.
Yeah.
You'd be like, look at all the ass. You like that scene from Spaceballs?
Which scene was that?
He's surrounded by assholes.
Oh, yeah. Keep firing, assholes. You know, they actually cut essentially that entire scene out if you watch it on television.
Oh, yeah. That entire scene's gone. Most of the scene with the transporter accident is also gone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. At least it's
like,
not... Remember Snakes on a Plane?
Oh, yeah, I remember Snakes on a Plane.
Well, Samuel L. Jackson's, most famous quote from that movie, the TV version was, "I'm tired of these monkey fighting snakes on this Monday through Friday plane."
Dang, dude. I think that tops my favorite moment of TV censorship.
What was yours?
It was when I was in like 5th or 6th grade, and there was Dumb and Dumber. I think it was on TNT or TBS. I don't remember. But you know the scene where like they get captured or whatever, and like Harry and Lloyd are fighting like near the end of the movie, and they were just like, "Where do you want me to sign?" And then Jim Carrey goes, "On my ass after you kiss it."
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and you're like, haha, funny, you said ass, whatever, and you kissed it. Well, in the censored version that was on TV, they replaced ass with the word sandwich. But they didn't make an effort to, like, make his mouth move more. So his mouth was just in a very open, like, very, like, kind of looking mouth. But there was no biological way that the word sandwich could have come out. Like, it was just funny because it was just like, right on my sandwich after you kiss it. And I'm just like, what? There's been no sandwich in this whole movie. Like, sandwich is not a derogatory term.
Now that you say that, someone's gonna show up and be like, my people for centuries have been trying to get away from the prejudice of being called sandwiches.
Do you know July is Sandwich Awareness Month? Don't do any sandwich shaming.
The sad thing is I wouldn't be shocked if it was.
Or they go to Urban Dictionary, and it's like, sandwich, slang term for ass. And I'll be like, oh, well, got that going.
I'm kind of bothered that every single month is an awareness month for something. That literally every single color I could have in my wardrobe is promoting awareness of something else. Maybe I don't want to spread a message via your claimed ownership of a color.
My favorite one is is all the PR stuff that goes with Breast Cancer Awareness Month, which I'm going to go on the record and say I am against cancer. I am con cancer. I'm anti cancer.
That's a controversial stance there, Joey.
Um, my family, that's how I was raised. The culture that I've grown up in is very anti cancer. But I love the fact that, like, the PR team for breast cancer is so awesome. And they're just like, save second base, boobapalooza, whatever, and all this and that. And I'm just like, I think we're all aware of breast cancer now. Can we, like, fix it now?
Well,
Like, it's cute. But
part of my problem with their awareness campaigns is, you know, how it's always the very lovely, well-endowed woman who's like, save this rack or something like that. Those, what, you know, you and I would qualify as attractive sets, are the least likely to have breast cancer.
oh,
Like, the people that they show in their marketing and their advertisements are great for attracting people, but those people have the least likelihood of actually having breast cancer, because it's, you know, it's not the healthy ones.
so what? Wait, what? So if you got like a good looking rack, you're like less prone for breast cancer?
If you have if it's a healthy looking one, yeah, it's more like if it's like on a. This is a conversation that's completely like appropriate, yet I have to like give detailed description of tits, so I feel like that makes it inappropriate.
You're fine.
No, I know, but like if they're, say, saggy or lopsided or in some other way unhealthy, they're more likely to have it.
However, I did like a few seconds ago you said if you have a healthy one, you won't have cancer. So if you got like one good boob, you're good to go. Like,
Well, at least
dang.
that's a fact that cracked.com told me, so
Oh, there you go.
could be totally wrong. If I'm wrong, like, comment, and subscribe. If I'm right, do it anyway.
Say how wrong Geekosaurus Mike is. There
Yeah,
you go.
Internet, how wrong am I?
Yeah.
Bring it.
Take a break from all this Miley Cyrus baloney.
That.
And just hate
Here's-
Geekosaurus Mike for like 5 seconds.
Here's the thing. That entire thing was a transparent ploy for attention. And it's worked so well.
Oh yeah, dude.
Like, you know, it's the old saying that, you know, all press is good press.
Yeah.
So, and, you know, yeah, we have a giant conflict brewing over in Syria, possible World War III. Oh my god, Miley Cyrus!
Yeah, I'm like,
Someone we already knew was going to be crazy.
yeah, and I feel like, and this is me being so novice and naive, I just feel like people blew that story up because we're in denial about real world problems.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't care about Miley Cyrus. I care about getting in another war. HuffPost, can we focus on that right now?
Well, I mean,
I
way
don't
back,
like. Anyways, go ahead.
way back in the day, we had the start of the Iraq conflict, and the media was more worried about the Michael Jackson shenanigans.
Yeah.
Guys, there's, I don't know. I don't mean to sound like, well, you can't be worried about that. There's more important stuff going on, but the sheer amount of shit about it is just annoying.
Well, it's just that, and like, I don't know, people forgot about that NSA thing and that Snowden guy, and everyone's just like, Miley Cyrus, Ben Affleck is Batman, and I'm just like, no one cares right now. You really should care.
Remember how 2012 was going to be the year we put Coney in prison or whatever? Or was that
Yeah.
2011?
That was 2012.
See, I can't even remember what year it was, is how inconsequential that movement was.
Yeah. That lasted for like a solid week. And then everyone's just like, what?
Then the guy who started it got arrested for public masturbation, so...
Yeah, I did.
And on that note, we're coming up on the 30-minute mark of this podcast, so we're going to have to be wrapping it up. So, Joey, do you have any comments regarding the origin of what is going to be a continual podcast TTI.
Well, we're going to have plenty of other funny stories about college times, new times, just sitting down and BSing about whatever. Make sure you check out Joe Miraquai, which is joemiraquai.blogspot.com. Got some good stuff on there. More good stuff's brewing up. And yeah, I'm really excited to show you guys some TTI.
And you can find both of our content on geeksOTRoundtable.blogspot.com by following the links at the top of the page. We also have a Tumblr at... I just made this a few days ago, so I don't remember what I had to abbreviate it as. I could have prepared better for that. You okay, Joey?
Yeah, I just had to sneeze.
The Tumblr is just geeksoftheroundtable.tumblr.com. And yeah, you can find my stuff at geekosaurusmike.blogspot.com. So please like, comment, and subscribe. We'll be continuing to do this whether you do or don't. So yeah. TTI out.
Oh, TTI out, yes. Copyright.
2013.
TM. Circle with a C. Put an R on it. Boom.